both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on a balcony in summer air. See the lights, see the party, the ball gowns. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little did I know that you were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said stay away from Juliet, and I was crying on the staircase when you're already late. A no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. And yeah, I really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride on your already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? And life is a funny way sneaking up on you. Life is a funny, funny way of helping you out, helping you out. I know I can't take one more step towards you, 'cause all that's waiting is regret. And don't you know I'm not your ghost anymore? You lost the love I loved the most. I learned to live half alive, and now you want me one more time. And who do you think you are, running around leaving scars, collecting your jar of hearts and tearing love apart?
try your best but you don't succeed. When you get what you want but not what you need. When you feel so tired but you can't sleep. Stuck in reverse. And the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone but it goes to waste. Could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. And high up above or down below, when you're too in love to let it go. But if you never try, you'll never know just what you were. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. See a stream down your face. When you lose something you cannot replace. See a stream down your face. See a stream down your face. I promise you I will learn from your mistakes. See a stream down your face. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
It's not simple to say. And most days I don't recognize me. That these shoes and the same truth is plain to see. She was sent to rescue me. I see who I wanna be in my daughter's eyes. In my daughter's eyes, everyone is equal. Darkness turns to light, and the world is at peace. This miracle God gave to me gives me strength when I'm weak. I find reason to believe in my daughter's eyes. And when she wraps her hand around my finger, heart puts a smile in my heart. Everything becomes a little clearer. I realize what life is all about. It's hanging on when your heart has had enough. It's giving more when you feel like giving up. I've seen the light is in my daughter's eyes. In my daughter's eyes, I can see the future, a reflection of who I am and what will be. And though she'll grow and someday leave, maybe raise a family, when I'm gone, I hope you'll see how happy she made me. For I'll be there in my daughter's eyes.
Made a wrong turn once or twice, dug my way out, blood and fire, bad decisions, that's alright. Welcome to my silly life. Mistreated, misplaced, misunderstood, misknowing it's so good it didn't slow me down. Mistaken, always second guessing, underestimated. Look, I'm still around. Pretty, pretty, please, don't you ever, ever feel do that? Why do I do that? Yeah! I'm 5 years old, it's getting cold. I've got my big coat on. I hear your laugh and look up, smiling at you. I run and run past the pumpkin patch and the tractor rides. Look now, the sky is gold. I hug your legs and fall asleep on the way home. I don't know why all the trees change in the fall. I know you're not scared of anything at all. Don't know if Snow White's house is near or far away, but I know I had the best day with you today. I'm 13 now and don't know how my friends could be so mean. I come home crying and you hold me tight and grab the keys, and we drive until we found a town far enough away, and we talk and window shop till I forgot all their names. I don't know who I'm gonna talk to now at school, but I know I'm laughing on the car ride home with you. Don't know how long it's gonna take to feel okay, but I know I had the best day with you today. I have an excellent father. His strength is making me stronger. God smiles on my little brother. Inside and out, he's better than I am. I grew up in a pretty house and I had space to run, and I had the best days with you. There is a video I found from back when I was 3. You set up a paint set in the kitchen and you're talking to me. It's the age of princesses and pirate ships and the 7 dwarfs. Daddy's smart and you're the prettiest lady in the whole wide world. And now I know why all the trees change in the fall. I know you were on my side even when I was wrong.
Hello! That pretend light that just came up on the stage is me in the booth, but I want to be down there, but there's not enough of me. My name is Jessica Lopez Barkle. I am the theater program director for SUNY Sullivan, and I want to thank you all for being here to see our opening night of our workshop production of Thank You. Give more money to not us this time. The theater program doesn't want your money. We want to send all the money to the Children's Tumor Foundation. And thank you to those of you who already donated. All right, with that, I welcome you tonight and thank you for being here.
Hi, my name is Brianna Warden. I'm 8 years old and I'm from upstate New York. I was wondering, why am I different from everyone in my family? Why am I the only one who has tumors? Did I do something wrong?
Monster.
Freak.
Soft skin.
I thought you started chemo already.
Are you really sick?
You look really pale.
Why did you cut and take the color out of your hair?
Did you know there's something wrong with your arm?
Oh, are you a burn victim?
Do you have Ebola?
Do you have MRSA?
Do you have COVID-19?
Should you be parking there?
I thought you were getting your arm amputated.
What's with that?
Fake news about world's ugliest man.
Biggest tumor. If you don't forward this, you'll have bad luck.
Well, if you're gonna call me one thing, you should call me Mutant or call me Cockroach. Those are the only names that I'll ever go by.
I hate those names.
Yeah, but it's foreshadowing.
I had brought her to an orthopedic locally, and he took off her shirt to examine her, and he saw all these spots on her body that we now know are called cafe au lait spots. And he said, does she have neurofibromatosis?
I'll never forget sitting in the pediatrician's office, and he took out his pen and he started counting the cafe au lait spots. And I knew immediately that he was going to tell me something was wrong. And he did. He said, I think your daughter has neurofibromatosis.
Neurofibromatosis, or NF as it's commonly known, is a group of 3 disorders. NF can cause tumors to grow pretty much anywhere in the nervous system. And in addition to that, it can cause bone abnormalities, bone dysplasia. What that really means is that the cells in the body are cycling out of control. The cells that are causing tumors are dividing too many times. They're growing and growing and growing. I always think of those freeway signs, that the exits and the entrances that say 1 car can enter at a time. What happens in your body in NF is that the cars are just going and going and going. That's happening inside the cell.
So the surgeries I've had have been, I guess, pretty major surgeries. The first one was to remove the tumor on my left auditory nerve, which left me deaf in my left ear. And a couple of years after that, I had surgery on my left optical nerve, which left me blind in that eye and left the muscle for the eyelid paralyzed as well.
Well, the mission of the Children's Tumor Foundation has 4 parts. First and foremost, we are a research organization. We fund research, of which we are the largest non-government funder of NF research in the world, but we also promote research by others, and now really working with pharmaceutical companies to get them to work on therapeutics for NF. On our website, we have a discussion board with over 200,000 postings about NF. We offer chat rooms that really are used worldwide. Patient support. We work through our chapters and affiliates nationwide to create a series of patient support and symposia, and then lastly to support NF clinics.
Well, NF is about 1 in every 3,000 births. Having a foundation where you can talk to literally hundreds or thousands of people, and everyone, because they understand what you're going through, is very eager and willing to help you out.
I think what we're really trying to do is to really empower people to devote themselves to what we're doing and to really get behind the Children's Tumor Foundation in their stewardship. Because what it means is we're not just asking for their money, but we're asking them to believe in what we're doing and to dedicate their time, their talent, and their treasure to our purpose. From the day that we find a cure, who knows whose dollar it is that's going to find that. Hopefully that somebody who gives that money is going to really call it their legacy. They helped cure neurofibromatosis. What did you do in your lifetime?
I'm confident that when they find a cure for neurofibromatosis or find treatment for it, it's going to be because of the Children's Tumor Foundation.
That day was the start of it all. The beginning of our mask wearing, and I don't mean our COVID masks. Some of you have been wearing masks for a little over 2 years. Brianna and I have been wearing masks for a little over 25 years. Together, Brianna and I have made it part of our life's mission to teach as many as we could about neurofibromatosis while at the same time fight for a cure. What I didn't realize that was by taking on this role, Brianna and I would be forced to hide our emotions from the rest of the world in order to protect them from the seriously depressing circumstances that we often face together. months. An orthopedic suggests that Brianna has neurofibromatosis. I was less than her age. When my world came crashing down. Bree was just 2 months old at the time. I was detached and full of anxiety. You see, I had been saying that there was something wrong with her since the day that she was born. And then one night, after having begged her pediatrician for an x-ray, he called me at 11 p.m. to tell me that Brianna had a spiral fracture to her left upper arm and that he reported me to Child Protective Services. Me. I work for them now, today. I fought for weeks to get this pediatrician to tell me what was wrong, to order x-rays, and now I was being brought up on child abuse charges. I look at Brianna today and she seems still so young and so naive. The reality is, it's like looking in the mirror.
Dr. P? Dr. P, hi. Please wait, I'm really sorry to bother you. I know you're not working and you probably want to watch your son practice his forms, but could we please talk for a couple of minutes?
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
You're shaking.
Yes, thank you, I'm sorry. I appreciate you taking a moment to speak with me. This is my baby, Brianna.
She's beautiful, she's perfect. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. No, wait, please, I'm sorry, thank you. That's what everybody keeps saying, and she's perfect, and I think she is the most beautiful baby. But you see, there is something wrong, and I've been saying that there is something wrong. She was born with all of these spots, and her left arm is completely different color than the rest of her body. The nurses and the doctors told me that it's calcium deposits, or I'm just looking for something to be wrong, and that it's just newborn discoloration. They tried to convince me that I'm looking for something to be wrong, and then I found these lumps in her left arm, and then finally one lump turned into 2 lumps, and she finally gave me a referral for an x-ray. He called me at 11 p.m. last night to tell me that she has a spiral fracture, and that I need to follow up with an orthopedic pediatrician, and that Child Protective Services would likely be visiting us, but he never gave me an orthopedic to follow up with. I would never hurt her. I had a 23-hour labor with her, and I pushed her for 4 hours. Could it be that what? Her arm broke in delivery? That these are calcium deposits? What are these lumps? Who do I take her to? I would never hurt her. I have been saying that there's something wrong since the day she was born.
Okay. First of all, I need you to take a breath and relax. I am not a pediatric orthopedic, but I have colleagues who can help. Why don't you let me take a look at her? You mentioned she had birthmarks.
Yes.
Can you show me?
You want to look at her right here, please?
Did you get a copy of the x-ray yet?
No.
Did you have it done at the hospital?
I mean, I had it done at the hospital, but I didn't know I could get a copy of it.
I mean, yeah, it may cost you $10, but I want you to go up to the hospital now and get a copy of the x-ray, and then can you meet me at my office this afternoon, say around 1?
Yes.
I want my partner to look at Brianna with me. We're going to help you.
Thank you. I'm sorry I bothered you. Thank you. I'll go get that now. I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for picking up those x-rays. I'm going to take them into another room for a few minutes so that I can get a good look at them.
Okay.
Is it okay if I have my partner
Yes.
look at them as well?
Whoever
Thank
can
you.
help.
Okay, thanks. If you could get her undressed, down to her diaper, I'll be back in to examine her in just a few minutes.
Sure. Thank you.
Jana?
Yes?
Well, my partner and I both took a look at those x-rays, and he shares in my concerns.
I could hear you talking, and I don't understand. What is wrong with my baby?
I'm
Please.
sorry, Jana. Has anyone in your family ever had birthmarks like these, or problems with tumors?
No, I've never seen them on anybody before. Wait, tumors? Did you say tumors? Does she have tumors? Because I have an aunt who had breast cancer, a cousin who had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I have a nephew who died when he was 3, and no one knows why. Are you saying that she has cancer? What do you think she has?
Jana, it's not cancer. I think Brianna has neurofibromatosis.
What?
It's a genetic disorder that can cause tumors on the nerves of the body. One of the symptoms is all of the birthmarks that she has and skin discoloration. I think these lumps in her arms are the beginning of some tumors. I can't tell without an MRI. What we can tell on the x-ray is that her arm is not fractured. That's a good thing. If you look over here, the bone on her left arm is concave on both sides. And these markings are more than likely from the neurofibromas or tumors that are developing in the arm. I would like you to take a follow-up with my colleague at Westchester Medical Center. He is a pediatric orthopedic. We are also going to help you organize appointments with a genetic counselor and a pediatric neurologist in Westchester. We will also contact Child Protective Services to let them know that they were misinformed.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you for everything. You know, the pediatrician mentioned that she could have some disorder, but he said that she can't have it because her father and I don't have it, so I wonder if this is what he was talking about. Thank you. I'm sorry. Can you please write it down again? It's, what is it called? It's
Neurofibromatosis.
Neurofibromatosis.
Okay.
Thank you. What do I expect? Is she going to die?
No. But unfortunately, there are no 2 cases of neurofibromatosis that are identical. It is very difficult to say what life will bring. Some people have few complications, some people have many complications. I think it's best to see what the specialist has to say. I would definitely avoid doing too much research on your own. There's a lot of frightening information out there. This isn't going to be easy, but we are here to help you with whatever you need.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
This little penny is to love on, and where love is, heaven is there. So if you have 5 pennies and they're these 5 pennies, you'll be a millionaire.
I was told not to look anything up, to let the experts teach me about NF. I couldn't help myself. I needed to get as much information as I possibly could, and that was a mistake. Remember this? Imagine reading millennials, you have no idea. Finally. I read things like
3 types. NF1, NF2, and schwannomatosis, also called von Recklinghausen's disease. a genetic disorder that causes the growth of tumors on the nerves.
This disease can also affect the skin and cause bone deformities.
May cause tumors in the brain, can lead to blindness and deafness.
Joseph Merrick. Remember him? The Elephant Man? Do you remember? Suffered from von Recklinghausen's disease. At least that's what the 1990s internet told me.
Disfigured, a monster, pain, and seizures.
Elephant Man found dead in his hospital bed, asphyxiated due to a neck dislocation from a bone deformity.
Neurofibromatosis and cancer. 50% chance of all patients have learning disabilities.
Neurofibromatosis and cancer. Neurofibromatosis and death average 8 to 15 years younger than the healthy human, except for those with plexiform neurofibromas.
Plexiform neurofibromas become cancerous. Plexiform neurofibromas are inoperable tumors that cause severe pain.
Loss of limbs, disfigurement, death. Neurofibromatosis worsens with age, the onset of puberty, and pregnancy.
50% chance of passing the NF gene to each affected patient's offspring. No treatment. No cure. My beautiful baby is going to grow into a freak, a monster, and she's going to die. 6 months. Yes, that is me, if you're wondering. My diagnosis of neurofibromatosis type 1 was confirmed with genetic testing.
10 to 24 months. We were sent from Westchester, New York, to Tulane University in New Orleans to the tot specialist and followed there for 2 years. I am very pregnant with twins.
And at age 2, while visiting Tulane, an MRI was performed. Hear it? The physician entered the exam room, explained the results, and told my mom that I needed to have as much of my tumor removed as possible.
It wasn't until 23 years later, this very year, 2022, that I found a copy of the results of this MRI that stated high potential for cancer development of the chest wall tumor. This is the cancer that almost killed her, and they never even told us about.
You're skipping a whole lot. We have to take it back and follow the timeline.
I know, but
Too
it
soon.
really pissed me off.
Too soon.
Okay.
You can continue now, thank you.
Back to the visit. The surgeon did explain that Brianna has to have this surgery or she will die. And then he said that she will lose the function of her left arm, she will probably become paralyzed, and then he followed this by stating that the nurse would come in to schedule the surgery. There was no further conversation, he just walked out of the room, and so did we.
And on the flight home, the Angel flight pilot referred us to Boston Children's Hospital. My mom contacted the NF team there and was told not to let anyone operate on me, so the exact opposite.
Brianna was subsequently scheduled to meet with the NF team at the Boston Children's Hospital. Still 2 years.
Yeah, still 2 years. I was evaluated at Boston Children's Hospital. The NF team continued to follow me to monitor my eyes, my ears, perform full body MRIs, which, as some of my fellow NFers know, that this can take up to 4 to 5 hours. Imagine hearing this sound on repeat, over and over again.
4 to 5 hours. Fun times for me when she was sedated and I sat next to her for 4 to 5 hours with earplugs in. That was
Yeah,
fun.
lucky you. Now it's even more fun when you have to be awake for the 4 to 5 hours and you cannot move the entire time. But let's keep on track.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yep.
My mom had to meet with a genetic counselor, and around this time, I was found to have severely enlarged tonsils and adenoids. I had a tonsillectomy and an adenoidectomy.
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 You got it.
Never could say that word. And during my post-op, my blood pressure was too high. I was diagnosed with hypertension by age 2 and was admitted to ICU. A fun fact about me is I have been swallowing blood pressure medication since I was 2 years old. Learned with mini M&Ms because of her. My blood pressure was caused by a malformation of my kidneys. I was diagnosed with renal artery stenosis and a deformed left kidney. After my most recent surgery, that kidney now looks like a California raisin.
At one point, it looked like a shrunken avocado.
Well, I think my kidney's pretty cute, so
I
thanks.
think it's adorable. It'll be even cuter when I give you one of mine.
Yeah.
2 to 5 years. Boop. Brianna's twin brothers are born early, 2 months early, in fact. I was told that the second twin, Brandon, would not survive. I was induced to vaginally deliver Robert, the first one, which stopped the labor, and then the second one, Brandon's heart stopped, and they shared an umbilical cord, and there were all sorts of problems, but Brandon and I were taken in for an emergency C-section. I feel like I'm dying. I'm trying to fight for Brianna and for Brandon and his twin brother Robert, and of course Brianna. I realize I can't die. They need me. I met them through a Polaroid photo that the nurse took for me 24 hours after I delivered.
They are cute.
They were cute. They still are. Brianna continued to have yearly MRI exams, and she was monitored by the renal department for kidney function and hypertension. By age 5, I skipped a whole spot about how they were in the NICU, and then we went back and forth to Albany Med, and we were in the Ronald McDonald House, and I had to transfer her care from Albany to Westchester. But let's fast forward to the renal department at Boston Children's Hospital, and yet another MRI. Sorry if I'm fucking up your sound cue. There we go.
6 to 7 years. I continued to be followed by my NF team for my eyes, genetics, MRIs, kidneys, orthopedics, because I am a robot.
Well, you're a robot because she has scoliosis.
See? By age 7, despite bracing and physical therapy, my scoliosis worsened. I needed surgery. I had a spinal fusion of, Mom, let's show them please, thank you, C3 to T11. I'm like the Terminator. 18 hours in surgery. So that means diaper time. No, not me, my doctors. I had to have some diapers doctor up for me. Don't they look great? They had to fuse both sides of my spine. They went in through the back, through the sides of my chest. I had a chest tube, and in the middle of the night, while my mom was sleeping,
she loves to tell
my
the
lung
story.
collapsed. I couldn't breathe, and after my mom ensured that oxygen was placed back into my lungs, she fainted. And you wanna know what I yelled? Help my mom! It was fun.
I thought you were dying.
I'm sorry.
She always does this. Makes sick, disgusting jokes about the severely depressing times in her life.
I know. It's really not funny. Recovery was painful, and it was very hard for me. I had to learn to walk again. I remember being in so much pain that they forced me to walk, and I threw up blue ring pop all over the hallways, all over my nurse's shoes. I spent several months in a wheelchair. I was away from my brothers and my puppy for weeks. And when I finally got to go home, something happened. My back was allergic, or I was allergic, to the hundreds of sutures used to close my incisions. I was rehospitalized, and I spent a total of 2 months in the hospital due to the spinal surgery and the complications related to the suture dehiscence.
There are several truths that parents, and dare I say it's particularly mothers of chronically ill children, have that we hide from the rest of the world. Got it? There are so many things that I have wanted to shout out, but I've kept hidden in order to not offend another human. Excuse me for 1 second.
Okay.
The Elephant Man did not fucking have neurofibromatosis. He had Proteus syndrome, which is a completely different disorder. Back in 1997, the science behind NF was evolving, as science does. And to this day, very few general practitioners and nurses know about NF. And what they do know is outdated. I still hear to this day, oh yeah, that's the Elephant Man disease. No, it's not.
We know.
Oh, you poor thing.
She's so beautiful now.
So sad that one day she will be completely deformed.
I know, Mom. Elephant Man, totally different. While I have deformities, they don't define me because, besides, who out here is perfect? Any of you? Anyone?
Anyone? You? You perfect? None of us are. Do you know how many times I've heard the phrase, you
are so strong.
I don't know how you do it.
True?
I
don't know how
we've done it.
I don't remember half of this life that we're telling you about because the stress has been so much at times that it's like my brain has been wiped clean, like the hard drive of a computer. Like shit was never there. Like it never happened. Aside from the individual memories of the good times that are missing, there are times that I look back and I think to myself, how did I do all of that? How did I lug 3 children to a city 5 hours away? How did I single-handedly carry all 3 of their little sleepy bodies and their luggage up 4 flights of stairs in the Ronald McDonald House? How could I ever leave my twin sons alone with a hospital volunteer playing in a waiting room while I held Brianna's hand through her often painful testing and procedures? I would never leave my youngest son alone with a stranger. How could I have done that to my older sons? I had no other choice. I feel like I am drowning almost every day. Bree and I put up our fake smile to protect others from the horrific fear and pain that we have. I tend to isolate myself. And no matter how many times I'm offered help, I always feel alone because I was alone. Someone had to take her to her appointments. Someone had to work. Someone had to be strong. Years of isolation add up. And I secretly suffer from depression. Sometimes it's severe.
Did you know that there is a high rate of attempted suicide among mothers of chronically ill children? Do you know that I saved my mother's life?
She did. At one point, the circumstances in my life were so overwhelming that I attempted to give up. I don't ever want you to think that it was because of you. Not for a second. It was never because of you.
I know.
But it was Bree who stopped me from ending my life. We fight together, but sometimes one of us has to take the lead, and in that instance, she fought for me. Because sometimes mothers need someone to fight for them. We're not perfect, and we are not invisible. Seven years old. Let me repeat that. 7 years old. Diaper time. I hate that phrase. She gets it from Grey's Anatomy or some shit.
I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. That's all you.
Well, picture a 7-year-old who has surgery that lasts long enough for her surgeons to have to diaper up, as she's referring to. And I have to sit and wait for them to come out to tell me that she's survived. I have sat alone for literally hundreds of hours waiting to find out if she would walk again. 12 surgeries so far. The longest was the 18-hour spinal fusion. That's the diaper one. Bree and I arrived at 4 a.m. for her surgery. Lots of time for people watching, I guess. I'm the caregiver. And all I'm going to say is that I have always been so jealous of the other parents in the hospital waiting rooms. You know, the ones who are always anxiously holding each other up and having support of each other as they wait to hear if their child survived surgery.
Look at this. Cold coffee and cheap snacks. Such a thoughtful gift for parents who are already losing their minds.
With all this money donated to this hospital, you'd think they'd offer something better? Like, look at the seats. Do they really expect me to sit there for an hour and a half? There must be a private waiting room somewhere.
Waiting for an hour and a half. Tough times. The seating is fine. It's cushioned. And so is his fat, privileged ass. I took the chair so you could have the couch. It's just me, so please.
No.
Okay. I'm human. I can't and don't always wear my mask of positivity. It's sometimes difficult to have compassion for people who don't appreciate the gifts that they're given. Be thankful that there's coffee, snacks, and couches to sit on. Show gratitude for that nurse liaison who provides updates to every parent sitting in here. And remember that that news is not always good. He's an empath, a healer, and he feels the pain, the fear, and the anxiety of every parent in the waiting room.
Yeah, again, because we're in the hospital because of you.
Be nice, Jana. They're experiencing their own trauma.
It's going to be all right. It has to be. The surgeon is confident that he can fix Sean's leg. He'll be back on the field in no time. He's going to keep his scholarship. He's got to.
I can't imagine what this is like for the parents of kids struggling with a lifetime of illness. I could never get used to this. I feel so badly for the ones who are here alone.
never do. It's not something you can get used to. No matter the type or, thank you, how long the procedure. Procedure. That's what it's referred to by surgeons, procedure. I suppose it's a much more civilized way of saying cutting open your child and taking out or fixing the broken parts. Painful white and black arrogance of surgeons. Thank God for the nurses. They see the whole picture. The nurses, they feel the pain of the parents in the waiting area. Sometimes it's too much to bear. Waiting to hear that my 7-year-old is alive. Waiting to hear if she'll walk again. If they got all the cancer out of her body. Waiting to hear the words.
Charlie Brown teacher, Charlie Brown teacher, Charlie Brown teacher. She's out of surgery, she's waking up and waiting to see you. Charlie Brown teacher, in the recovery room. Charlie Brown teacher, Charlie Brown teacher.
Actually, no matter what they say, all I hear is, she's not dead. Experiences like that do thicken your skin, but it is never something you can get used to. Bree, yeah? Do you remember when your brothers first realized how hard NF is for you?
Yeah, wasn't it after my spinal fusion?
Yep. They were 6 years old. Prior to this time, Robert and Brandon were sometimes jealous of the time that Brianna and I spent away together. They were 6. We tried to protect them from the negativity and the fear. The twins didn't really understand what was happening to Bree or to me.
I would come home with these autographs and stories about how I met famous sports players and celebrities while in the hospital. Even though I always asked for autographs for my brothers, they still missed out on the experience.
Boys didn't realize that it wasn't all fun and games. They knew that I was away with their sister, and I was missing out on their Little League games and their band concerts, their time with Mommy. They were 6, and I was gone for weeks at a time.
I remember that they came to visit me while in the hospital after my spinal fusion. I was in so much pain. Like I said, my lung collapsed. I nearly died, but all I could care about was getting the nurses to help me throw them a birthday party. They were 6. I was 8. I had to learn to walk again, and I saw that they were afraid to hug me on their birthday. I didn't want them to be afraid. I didn't want to ruin their birthday. I just wanted them to be happy.
The nursing staff and the child life specialists, they were absolutely amazing. They filled Brianna's room with balloons for the boys. They brought them a cake. They even had the hospital clowns come to make a special visit, which they loved, and she hated because she's petrified of clowns.
They're just not my favorite thing.
No, they're not.
It wasn't until after I was discharged home that they realized what was happening to me, which is what I wanted. This is when my back became infected. I was allergic to the hundreds of stitches used to close my incisions, so I couldn't hide it from them anymore. And I saw how it would really affect them. They would hold my hand as my mom removed suture after suture and provide wound care for my now opened spinal incision. I would scream and cry, and they cried with me.
I remember going to a follow-up visit and having to take the boys with us because I didn't have a choice. I was so stressed. I remember lying on the carpeted floor of the waiting room. The boys were drawing pictures of Spider-Man as we waited for the doctor to call us in. It seemed like forever. I remember being worried about how they would behave in the exam room. They were anxiously nervous 6-year-old boys. They were off the wall.
I want to sit up there. Come on, let me sit up
Why does Nani
there.
get to be up there? I want to be up there. It's my turn.
No, it's my turn.
Robert. Ooh, a scale.
Oh, let me try, Brandon.
No,
No,
Robert,
I said it's my
you
turn.
always get to go
No,
first.
it's
I
my
wanna
turn.
go first.
Oh, cool picture.
Oh. Robert, move out of the way.
No.
I can't see it.
Are those nails in her bones? Does that stuff stay inside her forever?
Oh,
Do you have to cut her open again?
Oh, Nanny. That is when they realized that she is in pain every day. The boys have been her protectors ever since.
Yeah, they have. The doctors taught my mother how to remove the sutures and how to care for my open spinal fusion as my brothers watched. Like I said, I cried and they cried too. But this is when my mom realized that she needed to become a nurse.
Yes, I became a nurse.
And I am so thankful for you. And I'm sure many of you are too, even those who are non-compliant. But a little secret, every time I say, thank you, or I'm sorry, that's me wearing my mask.
Speaking of phrases, like thank you and I'm sorry, in case y'all didn't know, parents of sick children cannot stand the phrase, let's put the masks on. God only gives you what you can handle. Seriously?
Seriously?
Do you think that phrase is calming?
Seriously? We feel like the weight of the world is just upon us.
We live in constant fear of the unknown.
A life with chronic anxiety.
And that's the go-to advice everyone wants to give.
And I just want to scream
I can't
that
fucking hear.
Shh.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's kids in the room.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That phrase does not give us resolve.
No, it cuts us through a knife, and until this moment.
Cuts us like a knife?
Yeah.
That. I've
She's
never
always
shared these
correcting me.
feelings. I do. I just continue to wear my mop and glow smile.
And go on pretending like life is perfect. I mean, isn't it?
Life is good, right?
The truth.
If I believed that God could give me something that I could handle, he would have given it to me and not to her. They're paid by the hour, you know.
They're speedy today.
They are. They're moving fast. You want to take that side this time?
All right.
All right. 10 years. Brianna's left wrist begins to dislocate. She has so much pain in her arm and her hand that to determine if the nerves would handle the surgery, the doctor stuck a long needle into her wrist and injected some medication. She screamed in pain.
Yeah, I did.
This was good because this meant that she was a candidate for wrist stabilization surgery.
I mean, he said it was a cool party trick, but where's my hype posse?
Right,
Come on,
Posse.
3 pounds,
Oh,
tumors.
this is
Wait,
fun.
let's go.
You can
You
do
can?
this.
Arms up. I'm waiting.
Up, 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 up. Good.
Okay, let's go. So 12 years, 3 pounds of tumor removed from my upper left arm. It went really well, dropped 3, and I was happy. They're so slow at this.
You're really not great about holding up this
Arms
weight.
up.
You've been carrying this your whole life.
I know.
13 years. 3 more pounds of tumor
Drop.
removed from her forearm. Brianna suffered from complex regional nerve pain syndrome. Rain, wind, her clothing, the shower, everything hurt her arm. Brianna was unable to tolerate touch. She was in more pain than ever before. After weeks in the hospital, finally, a medical treatment of some medications that helped dull the nerves and occupational and physical therapy, Bree was able to go home. She continued to have pain, but at least it was a pain that she could deal with.
14 years, right here.
Yep.
My parents divorced, but I mean,
Shit
life
happens.
happens, so that's fine.
Yep.
And a malignant peripheral nerve sheath
You said
tumor.
it right.
Look at me, I know how to say my own
You
cancer.
did it.
Or
Cancer.
MPNST for short.
Cancer. You know that one that she cut me off from earlier because I was upset because I found that MRI result this year? That's the one they never told us that we should have been watching for her whole life.
The MPNST was found in my left chest wall. Would you like to show them?
I would. Camera
Right
boy.
there.
Oh, it's not up yet.
That's
Is
fine.
the camera rolling?
It's the other one. I meant like point to them.
I'm sorry.
I remember
Here I'm
lying
yelling at
in
you,
bed
camera boy.
next to my mom, but she didn't say a word. I just remember that she began to cry.
I never cry in front of her. I cry in the car, I cry in parking lots, I pull over and cry at the side of the road, but never in front of her.
I instantly knew that I had cancer. The tumor was removed, and they had to take out most of my left chest muscle along with the muscles on my left side. Yes, if you're wondering, that does include my breast muscles. And they were just developing too. I know now they're like all looking at them, which is really embarrassing, but it's okay because they were never big
Don't
anyways.
look at her chest. I thought she was going to die.
I'm sorry.
Let's get back to this timeline.
Yes, Mom.
16 years, where are we? Boom. According to statistics, she should not have survived cancer the first time. Now she has it again in 2 more places at the same time. Stop! I'm sorry. I can't do this. 2 malignant peripheral nerve sheath tumors, MPNSTs diagnosed. 1 in her axilla or armpit, and the other at C3, right on her spine.
Right
Both
there.
tumors and the surrounding tissue needed to be resected.
We've talked about death.
We've had conversations about what her wishes are when the time comes. We were
Sweet 16 dress shopping.
the first time we talked about her funeral arrangements.
We spent the day together. We had lunch.
It was nice. Do you know how difficult it is to find a Sweet 16 dress for a pageant girl? 127 dresses later.
She thinks she's so funny.
It's the truth.
You know she's going to die soon.
This may be the last dress you get her.
I remember being so frustrated because I was a size 00, and the smallest size they could find was a 4. Guess I got what I wished for, right? I wanted to lose some weight, but I remember it like this. I am tired of none of these dresses fitting. None of them. I'm too skinny. Everyone makes jokes about my weight. I'm tired of not fitting to any of these long-sleeve dresses. Oh, look, nothing here fits, Mom. It's not fair.
Okay,
I'm so
Bree.
sick of this.
Thank you, it's pretty. She'll try it. Thank you. You just give us a
Yeah, it's
minute.
pretty. Thank you.
I know
It's not
you're
pretty. I'm not
frustrated,
wearing
but this
that.
is not. This is normal. You're always complaining about how you can't have normal. I'm trying, Bree. We'll find your dress, I promise. Jesus, if this is this hard, I can't wait to find a wedding dress for you.
That is not funny. I am not getting married because no one would want to marry me anyways. Who would want to marry, a sick girl? I can't even find a dress to stay on my body. They all just slip off because, look, Mom, ready? Is it a size 0? No. Size 2, size 3, size 10. Nothing here fits.
Okay, relax, okay? I will try it. Thank you. It's very pretty. Hey, look, she's got these two.
Thank you. They're cute. Thank you.
Okay.
They're pretty.
No.
Oh. Let me get up first.
You can't cancel this party, Bree. You have to find a dress. It's your friend's party, too. She won't have this party without you.
You're right. She didn't even want to have a Sweet 16 party, but I wanted her to feel special too.
Hey, can you wait a second?
Yeah,
Are these purchased or are they on sale?
Oh, these are clearance. I don't think you want
Oh, I
something like this.
definitely want that then.
This
Thank
one?
you.
Oh,
Yes, please.
great,
Thank you so much.
excellent.
Hey, Bree, what about this one? Oh, I'm sorry. I know we're not supposed to touch the dresses. Can you help her try to
course.
put that on? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And there it was.
It's really pretty.
It was a bridal dress.
Thank you.
It was on the clearance rack.
I'm sorry.
It was exactly what she was looking for, sort of. It was a size 4. But it was elegant, modern, Audrey Hepburn style, long white halter top with an imperial collar. It was still too big for her, but we found her dress.
Yeah, I tried.
Where'd the mirror? Oh, thank you so very much. Do you want to just bring it over to Bree? What do you think?
It's beautiful.
Didn't I tell you we'd find your dress?
Yes. I know. I finally get to live my modern Audrey Hepburn fantasy. It's like from the movie, what's it called? Breakfast?
It's your grandmother's favorite.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
You're right. Okay. Could you pack that up for us? We're definitely taking that one. That's the one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the mirror.
Thank you. I'm sorry. My mom had to make serious alterations to the dress. By the time it came, it was still too big, but I loved it. I continued to lose weight, but we fixed it together.
She looked beautiful, of course, but I could only focus on 2 things. One, how thin she was. Her ribs stuck out like the bars of a xylophone. 2, is this the closest I will ever get to buying her a wedding gown?
5'5", 100 pounds. But again, I wasn't trying to lose weight. My doctors accused me of having an eating disorder. Little did they know that it was the cancer that was eating me alive.
After finding the perfect shoes, tiara, jewelry, chicken cutlets to
Mom.
create the
I make the jokes, not you. That's
you
mine.
needed them.
I could say something so mean, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, you could. Let's go drive home.
I remember driving home, listening to music, but there was an elephant in the room.
Car.
Elephant man.
Stupid joke.
I remember reaching and turning down the radio.
And I was so afraid of what she was about to say.
So, Mom?
Yeah?
When you die, do you want to be buried?
I want to be cremated. Really, because I don't want to take any more space on this planet. It's really up to you and your brothers, though, to decide. It's not going to matter much to me at that point, right? But you guys should tell me what you want. Funerals are for everybody else. It doesn't matter much after you're dead, does it?
I don't want to be buried.
No?
I don't know, something about being put in the ground, it really bothers me.
Your great aunt had the same problem.
And besides, I don't want to take up space either. Think of all the homeless shelters that could be built instead of these cemeteries. We, how do I say this? We really need a more eco-friendly way of disposing dead bodies.
You're not wrong.
I know. But we still want to give, people that place to mourn.
There are so many.
Yeah. I also don't want a depressing funeral with piss-smelling flowers. Because have you ever noticed that all of the flowers combined just reek of cat pee? It really does.
I thought I was the only one who thought that.
I want lots of funny jokes, fun music. I want people laughing and thinking about all the fun times that we shared together. Hey, Mom.
Yeah?
I really love my dress. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Can you picture that? You just spent the day finding the perfect dress for your sweet 16-year-old princess, and this is the topic at the end of the day. All I could think about is she trying to tell me that this is the dress she wants to wear for her funeral?
But that's our reality.
She wants me to promise her that I'll go on and I'll never give up when she's gone. I don't know how I'll do that, to be honest. She keeps me going.
She's been my lifeline, and I'll be honest.
As she told you, she is the reason that I'm still breathing to this day. There have been so many times where my heart is just not strong enough to take any more pain or any more sadness. This picture, post-surgery, she had a drain coming out of her chest under that dress. Post-surgically, Brianna had difficulty swallowing, breathing, and speaking. She had left vocal fold paralysis. She lost her voice. She couldn't speak. She couldn't eat. For her, the worst part, she lost the ability to sing. But I was so happy because she was alive.
Singing was my only escape.
I'm sorry.
It was my only normalcy and the only other thing that I was known for or good at besides being that sick girl.
I'm sorry.
But it's more than just my singing. You see, I want to further my passions of being a motivational speaker and spreading awareness about NF, and now it was gone. I had speech therapy for 6 months before my voice came back. That was when I had to also learn how to swallow foods, practicing with ground turkey with no seasoning.
Pretty gross.
Very dry. But after about a year, my voice kind of came back.
And you began to sing again.
I did.
I'm sorry I yelled at you earlier.
16 or 17, I know how to read. 17 to 18 years. I decided to start a clinical trial of cabozantinib. They make these chemotherapies way hard to say.
So hard to say. The doctors can't even say it.
It's a form of chemotherapy. The treatment began to work. However, it also began to damage my kidneys. As I said, I already have high blood pressure.
And a California raisin kidney.
Yes, the California raisin kidney, I know. So the medication that was working to shrink my kidneys, or it was shrinking my kidneys.
It was shrinking your kidneys.
It was shrinking my tumors, is also posing serious health risk like a stroke. So within weeks of stopping this treatment, all of my tumor grew back. So where's my hype posse?
Hype posse.
So add more weight. Remember, we lost 3, lost another 3. Now we're back.
Gained more back.
I experienced what
up.
you call significant rebound growth. So this means that my tumors grew back larger than they were before starting chemotherapy. My little brother Jace was born at this time as well.
His name means healer. 19 to 20 years. I get remarried to a man who literally saved me at work one night. He took on and loves my family, and he's devoted to Bray. We both needed him. Despite Brianna's last experience with complex regional nerve pain syndrome, Brianna decided to have this new tumor growth operated on again. She lost another 3 pounds of tumor from the upper left arm. She recovered well from this surgery. No complex regional nerve pain syndrome. We were good. However, without a treatment or a cure, her tumors just continued to grow and grow back. How many surgeries can she have?
My 21st birthday. Well, the day before my 21st birthday, to be exact. What do you think I was doing? Was I partying? No.
No party.
During a PET scan, it was discovered that I have a nodule on my thyroid. This can indicate malignancy or cancer. While this nodule is small and too small to be biopsied, so they have to let it grow before they can even biopsy it, I still think about it often. Because this thing in my throat could cause me to lose my voice and the only normalcy in my life. Unfortunately, because I just love to be a rare gem, again, too small to be biopsied, so we have to just leave it there and let it grow. Even now, I am 25 years old, still there. I feel like a ticking time bomb. I'm sorry. No, can you wait a second? I'm sorry. Thank you. To add insult to injury, that same PET scan that I had discovered that I could have bone cancer, which we thankfully ruled out, but still, imagine that. On a day where I should have been drinking or till I puked and singing karaoke with my friends, I get told I have a time bomb in my throat and something that could just decimate my arms and my bones even further. I'm sorry. You could play again. It's nice.
It is nice. 22 years. Brianna is understandably frustrated with her tumor growth, continued pain, frequent dislocation of her left elbow and shoulder. So she made the decision to approach her physicians and discuss her desire for amputation of her left arm as an option to treatment. Brianna met with plastic surgery, an orthopedic oncology team, and it was discovered that her skin integrity, from all of the growth and the surgery and the regrowth and the regrowth and the regrowth, was never going to heal. Her skin was too impaired. So, Brianna's only alternative was yet another clinical trial of a chemotherapy that may, or may not, shrink her tumors, decrease her pain, and improve the quality of her life.
I'm sorry. Please stop. I am missing out on things I wish I could do. Some nights I cry myself to sleep because I am just in so much pain, and I am always stressed about letting my family and friends down because I don't want them to think that I'm being overdramatic or that I'm overthinking. Some of my friends never understand why I don't go out or why I cancel plans last minute. So, what do? I say, I'm fine, it's okay. When a lot of the time, I'm really not.
Jace, can you say neurofibromatosis?
Yes, neurofibromatosis.
And what is it?
Like a tumor or a tumor on your head, or a tumor on your arm, or a tumor on your leg.
Exactly.
Or in right here.
On your back?
Mm-hmm.
You're so smart, buddy. Say, let's NNF.
NNF.
Neuro. Okay, go. Fibroma. Tosis. Are you ready? Okay, we're all going to say it together.
Say it together with us.
Neuro. Fibroma. Tosis. Again. Neuro.
Fibroma.
Tosis. Like the cheerleaders I know you all are. Ready?
Okay.
Neuro.
Fibroma.
Tosis.
Hard to say.
It is even harder to live with. That used to be our slogan.
That's our dear friend Jerry. He passed away.
I have neurofibromatosis type 1, or NF.
NF1
for short. It's a genetic disorder that affects 1 in every 3,000 births. I was born with this disorder, and I'm a spontaneous mutation, hence the mutant at the beginning that our lovely director talked about. Sounds like an X-Men character, right? I mean, it's kind of true. I'm like a mutant. Like I told you at the beginning of the way, but my mom so rudely cut me off.
Sorry.
That I'm the only one in my family to have NF1.
NF causes tumors to grow along the nerves of the body. NF can lead to blindness, deafness, bone disfigurement, hypertension, loss of limbs, cancer, and premature death.
I'm a cockroach.
Jesus.
She really hates when I say that, but it's true. Most people don't survive the things that I've been through, so as much as I do joke, I know it's not funny. Life with neurofibromatosis isn't funny at all. You see, at any time, my heart can just stop and bleed out.
The years of high blood pressure have already damaged her heart.
I could die in my sleep. And it's not that I'm afraid of dying, I'm really not, but I don't want to leave my family behind. What is my family going to do if I die? Will they survive?
There are days where I feel like I'm in a circus.
I am just another freak in a freak show.
Oh, you shouldn't have children.
What is your lifespan?
You look too healthy to have tumors.
Why not just chop it all off?
You know, they could do that with tumors.
If that were possible with mine.
Is this deadly?
Just pray and be positive. Positive energy will make them go away.
There's a magic cream that can make your tumors fall off.
I don't mean to be rude, but please, can you just
give us some space?
Mentally and physically, I have enough scrambling in my head that I don't need your knowledge too. People stare and they stare
and they stare.
Every time I go out in public, I can't even go shopping or on vacation without someone wanting to look at my arm like I'm some attraction. Some people ask rude questions. Some have even asked to pet my arm. My doctors don't know how to help me, so it's just overwhelming and exhausting to live in this fear of the unknown. Sometimes I just want it to all stop. I don't want you to feel bad for me. However, it feels like my disorder has taken everything from me. Neurofibromatosis. You have taken my sanity. You have taken my quality of life, my ability to work, the muscle and tissues in my body, my blood, my sweat, my tears, my friends, my relationships.
It didn't take away your 4.0?
But it did, because it's a 3.97.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's as if my tumors are just eating me alive. Are you going to take my life too? If you do, at least I won't be in pain anymore, right? I'm sorry. That was selfish of me to say. I'm sorry. But I'm alive.
Mm-hmm.
And at least that tumor I had named Richard is dead.
You always have to make jokes when we're serious, right?
All right, let's go. Burn therapy.
Burn therapy. Yes. Dear Neurofibromatosis. There have been so many moments in my life where I have secretly hidden away and cried by myself because of what you have done to my family. As I said, most of my crying is done in a car because I don't ever want to burden my daughter with her stupid whining. How dare I cry? She's so strong. I have to be strong for her. But the reality is, just like Brianna, I wear a mask. My mask is to protect Brianna and to deflect others from getting through to my true feelings because I can't ever break. The truth is, I'm broken inside.
NF, you have hurt my brothers, Robert, Brandon, Jace, and Justin. I don't know how they would function if I were to die. Not getting to see Robert and Brandon become successful and maybe even get married and continue life without me breaks my heart. And if you kill me, I won't get to see Jace and Justin grow up. Justin's face lights up every time he sees me. Jace, he tells everyone that he's healing me. To know that I am dead, it would crush their poor hearts. This would hurt them forever. You would hurt them forever.
NF, You have taken so much from me. There are superficial things in my life that don't really matter to me, and I'd give them up 1,000 times in order to make her healthy, like giving up my once upon a time dream of becoming an actress and stalling my independence. That shit is fucking meaningless. You see, you don't get a second chance at raising children and at life. And if my boys didn't have their mother, not the way they should have. I think of the nights that they slept away from me and how they must have been so frightened. And I think of them having bad dreams and just wanting to snuggle up with mommy, but they couldn't because I was 5 hours away in a hospital trying to keep their sister alive. It's no wonder they have night terrors to this day. Now Jay sleeps with me every single night. They're afraid that their sister is going to die. NF, you have hurt all of my children.
Jace is such an empath.
NF. Jay sees her hurting, and he always comforts her. All of my boys have to live in constant fear that today may be the last day that they see or hear from her. This is one of the reasons that Brianna and I take photos together before all of her surgeries. My second husband, Dan, took on the challenge of 3 teenage children. Knowing that she was sick, he stood by us. It breaks his heart every time we leave. The man stands in our driveway crying as we pull away.
He likes to act like he's this big, strong man, but don't let it fool you, he is such a mush.
NF, you have burdened us all. NF, one of the worst ways you have affected me is by eroding away my existence and making me invisible. NF, you made me forget the most beautiful moments of my life.
NF, look what you've done to my mom. Sometimes I fight for me, sometimes I fight for her because we have to live for one another. I remember one night, I woke up crying for my mom. And when I called for her, she didn't answer me. I knew something was wrong because my mom had always slept with me. I had climbed out of my bed and I heard crying from in the bathroom. I quickly pushed open the door to find my mom sitting on the toilet with a razor. This moment is something I think about often. I cried and I told her that I loved her and that she couldn't leave because if she were dead, then I'd be dead too. But would she die of a broken heart? Or would she try to kill herself again because the loss of a child is so painful and so unimaginable? That united front that we've stubbornly presented was finally won by you. We've talked about death. And I always tell my mom that if or when I die, she best keep on fighting. Because when it was her turn to fight for me, she fought for me. And our family will always need her to fight for them too. But
the truth?
My mom has spent her whole life fighting for me against you. And if I'm dead, it would be because I failed her and that you won. That I wasn't strong enough to fight you anymore. I just want them all to be happy, but with you, NF, every day, every morning is a gift that you didn't give me. Neurofibromatosis, you're not easy to say. But you're not fun or easy to live with either.
Earn it. What is unconditional love? How do you love people like Brianna or myself? There is an ever-present weight pressing on people like us, or anyone who has experienced the trauma of monumental death. A negativity and an emptiness always lingers, no matter how hard we try to keep our chins up or wear our masks of positivity. My greatest fear is losing one of my children. This is something that I've had to force myself to come to terms with, or at least try to. It stems from the fact that I lost my nephew when he was just 3 years old. Devastated me. I was 18, and he was my little buddy. We never got an actual cause of his death. It was almost 30 years ago, and it still pains me as if it were today. 30 years ago, I was just 18, graduating high school, childless at the time. However, I distinctly remember the day that little blonde-haired boy lay in a casket that couldn't have been more than 3 feet long, laying in a suit that I helped pick out for him. No wonder I thought her sweet 16 dress was the one that she wanted to wear for her own funeral. That day, I made it my personal vow to always protect my children, no matter the cost, to always put their needs before my own. Mikey, my nephew, he was mine, and I was his. He was not only my little buddy, but there was an unknowable connection between us. When Brianna was born, that thread of love that I lost with him returned, and it grew into something that has no words to explain its importance. Parent-to-child love is the truest, and quite honestly, the most important love that there is. By loving our children fully and unconditionally, we provide them with the foundation of what it is to be human, which is love. We teach them empathy, and we give them hope.
The love my mother and I share is indescribable, but I know that love that she felt for Mikey because I feel it with my little brother, Jace. I don't ever want to break him. And that connects me more with my mom, that I love. But what does it mean to love a person with a chronic illness? In my case, it's important to understand that my NF is way more than it looks like. Some people don't even notice my tumors. I have days where I can hardly walk from the pain that I am in. So I want that reassurance that they won't leave because my disorder is too much for them to handle. People leave. This is not me whining, but people I thought that would never leave me left. And in answer to this question, I need someone who allows me to take off my mask.
Things people who love us need to deal with. Brianna takes chemotherapy twice a day. The first ever FDA-approved treatment for neurofibromatosis, which didn't exist when we first started writing this play. Prior to this, she was on 2 clinical trials of drugs we knew little about. We live in constant fear of what is going to go wrong next. keeping all 4 of my children healthy, empowering them to make good decisions, and ensuring that they have all that it takes to succeed while juggling to keep Brianna alive has been my primary goal for as long as I can remember.
It has, but I hate to break it to you, Mom. I'm not gonna die because your stubbornness isn't going to let me. And I was born a fighter.
Switch it up. The thought of her taking her last breath erodes my soul. Every single day, I'm asked, and typically more than once, how's Brianna doing? And I always give some version of, she's doing well, being strong as always, she's so tough, she's a fighter. But if I were to tell the complete truth, I would instead say she's tired. She had some difficulty getting out of bed today. She didn't want to eat today. When I checked her before I left for work this morning, she was still breathing. It's a thing I do. I check her every morning and sometimes throughout the night when she's asleep, like you do with a newborn. I check to make sure that she's still breathing. I've done this every day since the day she was born.
9,125 days and counting, to be exact.
You Googled that shit.
Don't let them think I have dyslexia. They don't need to know that too.
9,125 days of worrying.
Most people we know who have
worrying that I am going to wake up to find that my child has died in her sleep. The thing with NF is that you either die from cancer and you know you're going to die because there is nothing more that they can do, or death just sneaks up on you recently. Like our friend Jerry you saw earlier. Recently, Jace has his own ritual of checking on his sister that mirrors my own. I'm petrified when he beats me to her room in the morning. NF patients have complications with their cardiovascular systems.
Most of the people we know who have died from NF have been sudden, unexpected cardiac events that just happen in the middle of the night. But the fighter in me will never let Jace see me that way.
This fighter has survived 3 malignant peripheral nerve sheath tumors, or neurosarcomas. The survival rate for one is 34%. This fighter has high blood pressure since she's 2 years old. The nurse in me worries about the effects that this lifelong high blood pressure has on the walls of her heart. How long can her heart continue to handle the stress? People who love us need to understand this question. How long can her body continue to handle the stress? What will I do if I outlive her? She has been the light that has kept me going. She's been the love of my life. My own death doesn't frighten me. I'm terrified of not being here to take care of her, of not being here to protect my children, and of not being able to keep them safe, and not being able to keep that personal vow that I made 30 years ago. I suppose just like with NF, we never know what tomorrow will bring, right? I have to make the best of today, make her today as amazing as it can be, and teach my children every day how to care for themselves and each other. I have to keep up hope. But what would the world be like without Brianna? a light would go out. And not just for our family, but for so many people around the world. Brianna has touched so many lives. She inspires everywhere she goes. She has a following of other NF patients, we call NFers, who look to her for inspiration. Her death would be a painful shock to thousands. And I fear that the pain that she lives with every single day will never be able to compare to the pain that will pierce the hearts of so many when she is gone. For me, that will be an eternal pain that will never, ever subside.
But I'm here.
You little cockroach.
Well, to sum up everything, there will be a quiz after the show, so please pay attention. Can my friends come in, please? Are you all
posse?
ready? Okay. Because of my NF1, I've had to have 3 spinal fusions, 3 tumor debulkings, 3 cancerous tumors removed, and 1 little non-cancerous tumor I like to call Richard. Or shall I say, Dick? Dick.
Dick.
I have high blood pressure because of renal artery stenosis. I have several joint dislocations, even in the middle of parking lots while holding my laptop that just died. It was not fun. I deal with learning disabilities, live in chronic, severe pain. I was part of 2 clinical studies hoping that my kidneys would not fail. But we wear our masks most around the people that we love.
I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay.
Oh, you are the best. Thank you so much.
Did you bring yourself a drink?
You should have. Next time.
Hype posse, return to the stage.
Where's the damn hype posse? This is like your shining moment. Get your asses behind your friend. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
There. As you can see, I was like, why can't I wait to get?
Remember, this is a work
There's a
introduction.
very small group of people who I fully open up with besides my mom. And what's funny is this small group of people just recently came into my life about a year and a half ago. The friendship I have with you all is seriously unlike anything else. I feel that we complete each other. You are the friends that I didn't know I deserved. You all see me for me and pass my mask, which is something I hate doing, but I needed. What's funny is I wear my mask to protect the ones that I love, but until meeting you all, I didn't know that taking down my mask was what I needed to do to feel safe. You all have become my family, and I love you so much. As I've said, I do put up a mask to protect the ones I love, and that includes my brothers. My mom and I feel like we took so much from them growing up when I was supposed to be their big, protective sister. Though NF has made our lives difficult, I do feel that it has strengthened my relationship with my brothers. I am so lucky to have younger brothers who think they're my older brothers because they protect me in their own ways, and they have grown to be such strong and inspiring, hardworking men. it's just scary for me to tell them the truth at times. Here's why. A lot of people have asked what I'm afraid of or how my family were to act if I were ever to die. But it's not that I'm afraid of dying or my body dying. It's that I'm afraid of how my family would react if I were to ever die. That's what I'm afraid of. And that's just the truth. But now, I am on the best chemotherapy ever.
Who says that? Bree says that.
I do say that.
Hi, Posse Rose!
This is the fun moment where you get to get to know your friends.
I wanted frozen matcha, but they gave me iced matcha. But I don't want to go back inside because I don't want to bother them again. So I just
He got it right this time.
Hi, long time no see. I know you don't know me, but I might get my arm chopped off. But I would never, ever, ever let someone suck on my stump. Anyway, how are you?
First conversation we ever had.
My toe is really infected and it hurts a lot, but I want a Coke, so let's walk around the school and see if we can find a vending machine that actually works.
I fell on my face, but I didn't break anything, just 4 stitches.
You got
There's
anything?
this new fall collection at Bath and Body Works with the candles. Let's go, guys, with the Uggs too. Hop on with
That
the
implies that I
21,
invited
come
him,
on.
right?
She is all things fall. This is true.
We love you.
Love you, Bree.
I mean, all of that is true. It's really things I've said or close to it. But what's funny is every person who has asked me about my chemotherapy has asked me the same thing. Ready? Were you nervous about starting chemotherapy? But I never realized how much I put on this facade to protect others and myself. So my answer, thank you. I'm fine.
I'm fine. Go right here to the bathroom.
It's like, it's really cold in here, but if you're hot, you can turn the heat off. I'll be okay.
I'll be all right. I'll be okay.
I've been holding my pee for an hour, but I'm gonna walk you to your car first before I go to the bathroom.
Safety first. But the truth is, of course I'm nervous about starting chemotherapy. If it doesn't work, we don't know if I would survive. NF, you can lead to blindness, but apparently so can chemotherapy and toe infections, as you heard. But I'm not going blind. I just have some vision changes in my eyes. I throw up every few days. In fact, I threw up on my first date with my current boyfriend over there. But he still likes me, right?
Right. Right.
Besides that, my joints still constantly hurt. And with all of this going on, I get judged if I park in an accessible parking space.
You know those are for people who need it, not you. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm more scared than I have been in a long time. Wouldn't you be? Before starting chemo, I was going to have my arm amputated. It took a moment, but this is something I wanted. I just wanted them to take it all off. No one at the time was going to change my mind. Or so I thought. Only to find that my skin would not heal if I did go through with the surgery. So I just mentally and physically prepared myself to lose an arm, and now I'm being told that this isn't an option. I just feel like I'm sitting here waiting to die. So if we were to amputate my arm, I could die of an infection. So I'm being told, wait and die. That's why we decided to write this and are here performing it for you today. We thought I was going to die. So I still have to live my life in fear, and that specter of the unknown is just part of my existence. Instead of living my life to the fullest, I can't even go on a family vacation where I'm not afraid of someone bumping into my arm. But have no fear, because the cockroach is here.
Oh, God.
Those of you who really know and love me, you all still have to put up with my great dad jokes. Okay? Can we get rid of the sadness? I really hate sadness.
Me too.
I will always be your annoying mutant cockroach with a California raisin kidney, no more golf ball tonsils. Oh, and at the beginning of COVID, no more appendix.
And no more dick.
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 Oh, gosh.
Enough with the dick jokes. Waiter, can you bring Brianna a Coke, please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my, if you have kids, they can get that too. I hope you never have kids.
That's what the waiter said to me after asking me about my NF. Who says that?
You shouldn't have kids.
That's my choice to make, thanks. I don't want to biologically have children, but if I do, you'd bet I teach them how to treat individuals with disabilities. So now let's get deep for a second. I was never one to date because I thought NF was hard enough on my family. Till one day, I saw this goofy bass player on stage, and I knew right then and there I was in trouble. So we made eye contact, and I was like, oh no. So he tried to come and say hi to me, but I was not gonna let that happen. So I tried to avoid him at all costs. But this one over here made me turn around. So I knew that if I avoided him after he was right here, it would be really awkward. But I'm glad I didn't avoid him again, because I wouldn't be in the happy relationship that I am in today. 2 years later, and this is a man I don't wear my mask around. And he loves me. Or I hope.
They are perfect for each other. Nauseatingly perfect for each other. But this is something that I've always hoped for. And I was afraid I was never going to see. So I'm kind of glad she's moving out
Like
in 2
we
weeks.
discussed, I'm not going to biologically have kids.
No.
So we don't have to rush anything.
Brianna?
Yes?
Fuck that waiter.
Oh.
And Sparky? I'm too young to be a grandma.
Anyways, NF is a constant unknown, but things are looking up right now, and I promise I'm saying this without my mask. I was the 2020 National
center
Ambassador.
stage, my
I'm going.
Get there.
For the Children's Tumor Foundation, and I'm still so proud and honored to say this. Now I am a part of the Children's Tumors Junior Board, where I get to continue my advocacy and hopefully one day of becoming a motivational speaker. I am the reigning Miss New York International, where I talk about the need to make NF visible in order to find treatments and one day a cure for NF. The experimental treatment, as we said, was just recently FDA approved, and I'm still on it. It's been about a year. I have pain and struggle with side effects of chemotherapy, but hey, go science. Very graceful, Kevin.
Because of her dedication, fundraising, and her bravery, Brianna continues to advocate for all persons with rare disorders.
She is an advocate for all those with special needs and is working to eradicate unequal treatment of those facing the challenge of disparity and inequity.
But Mom,
Yes.
I couldn't do it without you because you are my chauffeur.
Yeah, someone has to drive your ass everywhere.
I'm kidding. I learned this all from you.
She continues chemotherapy.
She attends functions raising NF awareness, addresses the Food and Drug Administration in the middle of a pandemic in Washington, D.C. about the importance of finding treatment.
Is about to graduate with a master's in school counseling and inspires others everywhere she goes.
What do they have to add?
I'm getting another update from the booth, I think. It says, since that first PSA 17 years ago, you remember from the beginning, thanks to the help of the Children's Tumor Foundation and the continued donations made by many of you, the FDA has not only passed the first ever treatment for NF1 patients, but has an FDA-approved treatment for patients with NF2.
NF will never define who I am. Yeah, let's clap for that. So
Yeah.
I am more than my disorder. I'm me.
We will fight for a cure. Cue the, this is.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to give the actors just like a 3-minute break, and then if you want to come closer to the stage and give us some feedback, that would be great. Those of you that are watching online, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to cut off the stream now, but if you do have any comments, please put them in the link, or you can email me at jbarkle@sunysullivan.edu. We so appreciate everything you have provided us this evening and continue to fight for a cure. And if you want, please look at the links in the chat and donate to the Children's Tumor Foundation. Thank you so much.